Hey there, it's the Machine of Nonsense episode 56, the housekeeping episode. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Kayla. Cheerio. Mike, also coming from Britain today. How are you?
Beatles.
Beatlemania.
And all four of the Fab Four, Tomas.
I'm not Ringo. But also, I can't afford a house to do any real housekeeping, so...
I was trying to go for Mary Poppins. I didn't know what to say.
Was popping.
So this was supposed to be the housekeeping episode, but I think we're just going full British. I hope you guys are ready for the pivot.
Chimney Sweep episode.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. So it's been a little while since we've come at your ears. We were celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday here in the States. And how was it, Mike?
My holiday?
Yeah.
It was short. I had to work. I had to do like a 12-hour shift that day. But it was solid. Some good food in that little short time frame to eat. It was good.
Did the turkey bring you any gifts? I think that's how we do it here.
Yeah, it brought me a PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Somebody's been good over there.
my baby now. I'm all set for the new generation so far, which is exciting. Been playing Ratchet and Clank a lot. I'm like 50% through that.
Shit.
Give me one of these games every 2 years, and I'd be very happy. I've played every one of them since the PS2 days, and this one's a lot. It's a lot of that formula that they've kind of perfected, but with just the prettiest coat of sheen on it, and yeah, it's really great. Insomniac knows how to make a good solid playing game, like absolutely, from Spider-Man and Ratchet. I see why Sony covets them now. They're kind of like maybe even supplanted Naughty Dog, like in their among their studios. And
I think you might be right.
Played some Astrobot on that as well, just to get a feel of that controller, and I like it so far. Like in Ratchet, it does like just really cool little subtle things, like you're trying to find a nightclub early in the game, and as you get closer to it, you feel the bass from the music and the controller and stuff like that, and it gets stronger as you get closer to it. And at a point in the game, you get like these hover boots, and in order to like put them into like hyperdrive mode, you have to like kick your feet with each pull of the trigger, and there's like tension on it, and it's just cool. They found cool ways to implement that. I haven't really heard too much great implementation since Ratchet probably and Astrobot, but that controller is really neat.
Nito Torpedo.
Oh yeah. And been playing, watched I'm almost done with the second part of Beatles Get Back. Really just savoring that. I had it on like when I was wrapping presents the other day, and I was like, no, I want to give this my time. It needs my time. Like I can't just have it on in the background. It's Peter Jackson's Disney Plus documentary. Like that he's made. It's like 6-7 hours long or something.
Yeah, it's like watching Irishman twice.
I know you. I know. Doing that.
That's Scorsese face.
Does Joe Pesci die in this one, or because I can't have my heart broken again?
If Ringo's Pesci, I mean Ringo comes up kind of in my book, like out of this as just a solid, like like I'm in this band and I am sticking this out no matter what. Like I am I am a Beatle, you know?
I've
God
heard he's not
bless
even
him.
the best drummer in the Beatles, though.
You talking about the original drummer? Yeah.
But he might be the best Beatle in the Beatles, if that
Okay,
makes sense.
I'm
It's
Have you
into
just,
it.
seen
he's
Have you
just a
seen his
fun
MS
cat to
Paint?
look at. He's just like, I don't know. He's very charming and funny in the movie. And he's just kind of he's the like he's the backbeat of the movie, you know, like literally. Um,
Nice.
but just it feels like I don't know, like you're there in this weird movie studio that they're trying to record Let It Be in with these four guys, and I've never seen them like this before, and it's it's just cool. I adore it so far.
Would you
The
recommend it
scene
to a non-fan?
uh no,
Mm.
and really, because I've Matt Helgeson on Twitter said like it's kind of just band practice the movie, and I disagree in a way because Peter Jackson's done a really cool job of giving it a storyline and give it like there's an act like a 3-act structure to it basically with the three parts and but it's still like it's kind of an album with like of course Let It Be is on that album and they're writing and they're kind of figuring out stuff from Abbey Road too at the same time but it's kind of deep cutty a little bit, you know. They're playing I Dig a Pony and I've Got a Feeling and Don't Let Me Down like over and over like again, you know. And John Lennon's singing it in weird songs and Paul's, you know, playing in a weird like they're having fun too
They're
with it.
fine tuning it.
And it's just kind of like at the beginning it's kind of four guys that lot of three, maybe two out of the four don't want to be here. Like no one's really having a good time at the beginning. Uh,
Ooh.
a certain like someone leaves the band like towards the end of the first part. But man, just to see the dynamics and what it was really at the time and what kind of answer to for me it answers questions that have just been like speculation
Yeah.
so far and it's just great. I love it.
That's awesome.
If you're into the Beatles, check it out for sure. If not, it might be tough because
It's in
it
3
is.
parts, right?
Yeah, it's a 3-parter. And man, I could go on and on about it, but I'll keep it short.
You have gone on and on. No, I'm kidding. It ain't,
Well,
but
maybe
yeah,
it'll
like-
make it into a future episode, perhaps. You know, we'll see.
Oh my! All right. Watch King Richard
how
on
was that?
HBO Max as well. I really enjoyed it. It's real long.
Gotcha.
I don't. I've heard a lot of praise for Will Smith in this movie, and it does do a good job. But I don't know if the character comes out extremely likable
Mm.
in this, which I kind the trailers and all the promotion stuff make it to be like a real like hero story. Like this guy's, you know,
That
great,
makes
but he
me
makes a lot of
even more
questionable decisions.
confused.
Right. Like getting his daughters Venus and Serena Williams to the point that they get to is like, man, all right, like good tennis scenes and stuff like that. The girls have some of the best scenes for me, like John Barenthal and the actress who plays the mom in this movie, who I should have looked up, but I didn't. My apologies. Are great, really great. And Will Smith's great too, but he's man, it's just you're with him at one point and then he just makes it like it's a really conflicting character which he does very well um and he may wind up being rewarded for his work. We'll see.
Calling it already, huh?
That's just the buzz on Oscar Street that I've heard for those who care about that and yeah, just catching up with other stuff. Res Dogs, still enjoying that.
Nice.
Yeah, trying to get back in Arcane soon.
Good.
Still so much shit on the table. My God.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss a little bit about that. But Tomas, how was your holiday? What did the turkey bring you? What you been doing?
Well, I posted what the turkey brought me. It brought me some Ringo Art MS Paint work. Posted it on the episode.
Oh
chat.
boy.
He actually did get turkey gift because of his birthday.
Woo! Oh yeah. The
Yeah,
holidays were a
birthday.
blitzkrieg. Nah, Thanksgiving was fine. Didn't have to do anything. I guess the future sister-in-law, be the easiest way to say it. She invited us over. They just got a house like a year ago, and we didn't have to make
Nice.
anything. I had what is it? Gluten-free stuffing, and it was pretty good. So, but and then I had my anniversary the next day, and then I had my birthday
Congrats.
the day after that. So,
Man.
Nice day. Nice busy weekend.
yeah, a little too busy, but and then
Yeah, that sounds. I want to take a nap. Listen,
yeah, I wanted to take like 10
I don't
naps.
like that.
All right, let's take a nap. It's the napcast.
Snapcast. Let's go. As far as new media and all that, I mean, I beat Pokemon. No, was it Pearl? I don't know. Was it Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, something like
I
that?
think you're right.
Yeah.
Beat that. Did a little bit of the post game. Currently in the middle of refighting the Elite Four with like bumped up difficulty.
How'd you feel about it?
I feel like it's more challenging. They
Really?
they didn't hold punches like on the Elite Four. They do like actual like level like competitive like play like strategies with like their moves and like the items they hold and shit like that.
One of them's like a meme, right? Like Cynthia, I think.
Cynthia,
One of the Elite Four, I think.
she's like the one that everybody like fawned over. She's like
Yeah.
yeah.
She's like really difficult or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they bumped her up quite a bit. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's like because like I'm not a super competitive Pokemon player. There's a little bit of a difficulty curve there for me. I was like, what the fuck? Because I couldn't understand why a Milotic would be holding a flame orb. And I was like, I'm like looking up like the abilities that the Pokemon have. I was like, what? It gets double defense if it's hurt. And I'm like, no. So yeah, but other than that, I've been playing a lot more of that Final Fantasy VI randomizer. Just
Nice.
Oh, man.
it's just fun to like kind of re-go through the game. I'm realizing how much I love the music in that video game still. So it's like, no, it's just cool though. As far as new stuff watching, I checked out 2/3 of 8-Bit Christmas. Still haven't
Okay.
finished it.
Okay. That's a glowing recommendation, I think.
Yeah, I kind of it was on in the background. We had a lot going on. It was kind of just a busy day. I put it on.
It's really ham-fisted.
Oh no.
It's like
It didn't. The parts that I caught, there were some cool scenes and stuff. It's a little rote. Like, okay, there's a bully character, and oh no, the bully's
and then
gonna
the bully
ruin
character
their
didn't make any
day.
sense, and like I'm putting on like my biggest like film critic hat. Like I'm watching, it's like what's the point of this scene? What it's like?
And they do the sin, and I've talked about this on the show. Like,
Go for it. Get 'em.
they have like NES is around this movie. Like it is about an NES.
Everywhere.
Oh no. Oh no.
They use a fake. They play it. They're playing the rich kid, and the rich kid has the power glove or whatever.
Yep. Fake game.
And it's a fake game that they're playing. It's like a fighting game that would not work on the NES at all. Like they could have done some kind of competitive game.
Yeah, they could have broke out Turtles Tournament Fighters. That came out for the NES.
Yeah, there is
Those
a
things
crappy
cost
NES
money.
version.
They had
But-
the Power Glove already. They had the NES already, and they even had Rob the Robot in the movie.
Oh man.
What's so hard about like you got the
Yeah.
whole entire back catalog at that point, you know?
Yeah, call Nickelodeon. Like, get the
I
Turtles
mean, I don't
license.
think it's a good excuse, but I think it's their excuse. Because, yeah, I mean, you're already committed to this theme. Just do it. Otherwise, it's going to be tainted.
And it doesn't
Yeah,
even like graphic wise. It doesn't even like it looks like it doesn't look like an NES game. It's just and I get like they're probably going. It's like it's a rich kid. He's the only kid with an NES in the neighborhood. And mind you, the premise behind this movie is complete bullshit too. NESs were not that scarce, especially like in
well,
'87.
the movie isn't about the scarcity. It's the
Yeah.
same as Christmas Story. The parents just don't want it. But yeah, it's just about like no one wanting this kid can't have this thing, and the kid
Yeah.
we're trying to band together to get one.
And he keeps hitting brick walls, and because it's like they definitely pull the Princess Bride, where he's like telling his daughter about the Christmas where he got it, and like it's like every like 15 minutes, as a kid he's hitting a brick wall trying to get this thing, and and it's like they become a little bit more absurd as the story goes on, but yeah. So I watched like 2/3 of that and then fell asleep. And then- still on the list to finish. Like I don't hate it. Not highly recommended either though. But it's not a terribly long movie though. It's no King Richard. It's like an hour and a half. So
Right.
but I don't think I've started watching any new shows. I don't know. I got this weird thing where like we talk about all the new media that comes out, and then I get cold feet, and like I don't know if I can commit to another show, and then I commit to nothing, and then I watch nothing, and then like I'm thus which is the reason why I'm on season 10 of King of the Hill because it's my comfort zone.
That's okay. I just finished New Girl again.
Oh,
So.
there you go.
Yes,
that's
you did.
awesome.
Kayla, the Craig Bondathon has come to an end.
Oh,
Yes, we did. It ended.
How did that wrap up for you?
I enjoyed it. They've got lots of fun scenes. Daniel Craig is great as Bond. I had a problem with the romance in these movies.
Ooh,
I just didn't find it very believable.
damn.
Like they're just a little weird. The first one with Vesper, I thought, okay, you can see it. You can see it transition from God, you're annoying to okay, you saved my life. I'm a little interested now to okay, we got a thing going on. But the other ones are like, God, you suck, but I love you. Like in the same scene, she hates him and she loves him, and then they run with it, and it's weird. It's weird.
Kayla giving the hot takes.
Well, I
on the
mean,
Bond
it's
series.
kind of been the Bond thing for whatever 40 years
What
or
Eric
50
keeps telling
years.
me.
And it's not great. Like it's super problematic. It's like the thing I think with Bond going forward that everyone's like, all right, like whoever
Didn't
we
age
cast,
well.
yeah, whoever we cast as the new Bond, are we gonna continue with this trope of like 50-year-old Bond, 20-year-old
Yeah.
Bond girl, and Bond is an asshole, but she still loves him kind of, trope that's been going on for
Didn't
50
necessarily
years.
think he's an asshole. They just there's no establishment. There's like it's just Eric says that it's because James Bond is so cool that they just drop panties. And I get
absolutely.
it if he's like picking up women
Exactly
at a
how I put
bar.
it. Yeah, that's
He's
how I
he's
put it.
gonna get women to go home with him at a bar, sure, but like these are like drug lord wives. What the fuck?
Maybe
He
they're
just
looking for an
he just
easy
sneaks
out.
into
You
their
know?
house and crawls into the shower with her, and she doesn't even blink.
Maybe they're using him.
Well,
It's like I'm looking
he's-
for a way out of the drug game. I'm just gonna sleep with James Bond and get out.
he's John Wick in that universe, though. Like
Yeah.
he's well known, right? People know of
Yes,
Of
007
Bond.
and
Yeah.
things
yes,
like.
So
because he
he's got
tells everybody he's never a secret agent. Never.
he's
He's
the least
always
secret
James
agent
Bond.
ever.
Everybody knows.
Right.
Because he's an agent provocateur. He never uses the term secret agent, okay?
Mm.
Yeah. He's
But
the
he's
least
supposed to be
secret
hiding in
agent
the
ever.
shadows. They talk
Yeah.
about being in the shadows all the time. He's never in the shadows. He's just
He's
running with a suit
constantly
on
in
in Mexico
sunlight.
on the roofs.
Wow.
That's- it is like there are just a ton of scenes of him like infiltrating a place, but his version of infiltrating is like Kayla said, like, oh, I'm in Mexico during the Day of the Dead in a full wonderful suit with a
Three-piece
machine
suit,
gun,
vest.
like running across roofs to
This isn't
shoot a
gonna
guy.
stand out.
Like,
Go to any
yeah.
bar, casino, or boat dock, and you're liable to run into James Bond.
Yeah, they're fun to watch. I really, really enjoyed like I might get this wrong, the cinematography of the last one. You know, there's like a whole break-in scene, and it's just the video work is really nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's several there's 5, Craig Bond movies, and all of them have just like beautiful scenery, beautiful cars, awesome like car chases and stuff. The action's always a lot of fun. The choreography is really good. I mean, you mentioned John Wick. I think John Wick is better, like as far as like fight choreography and gun choreography,
Yeah.
but it's still like it's up there. Like
Yeah.
the James Bond choreography is like the B to John Wick's A, I think. I mean, I think Craig does a great job. I don't know how much of his own stunts he does or anything like that. I know the cool thing about John Wick is that Keanu Reeves does most of those stunts and everything else. I've seen him like
Keanu's
do gun
always
training and
solid.
stuff. Yeah. So I don't know if Craig's in the same boat as that, but at least on the screen,
He's working out at least for sure.
oh, I mean, he's super ripped.
Super ripped.
He's constantly has no like he's either in a suit or no clothes at all. Those are
No,
like his
he
2
likes
states
his
of
little
being.
short shorts. He likes the
Right.
shorties. He
Yeah,
likes
but they're
them.
barely shorts. They're
Barely.
panties. He wears panties.
Called Speedos, bro.
They're not even Speedos. They're just like the illusion of shorts, I think is what I would call them. But I think he's the best Bond. I've seen a lot of Bond movies. I haven't seen every single one, but I've seen every single Bond. I've seen, all the different iterations.
Yeah.
And Sean Connery's cool. Really good. He's probably the second best. Pierce Brosnan's really, really good. At least in GoldenEye. The rest are kind of meh. But
Pretty sick
But-
video game.
Craig is just like he's like antic. Like he's like the anxiety Bond, I feel. Like all the other ones, like Bond is supposed to be this like cool, suave dude. And Craig has scenes like that. Sure, he's picking up these women like it's whatever, but in every other scene, he's just a wreck. Like he's a mess. He's
falling. He's breaking walls. He's
yeah, they actually deal with the fact
not
that like
saving the women.
he's a
Not.
terrible alcoholic. Like he has a
Nice.
drinking problem, like and it's admitted, and it's not like just okay, it's causing him an issue with his job, with his women, with
Relatable.
everything. Right, yeah, and just
Do you
his
want that in a Bond movie?
I liked it a lot. I feel like it makes me care about that character. He's not a Superman. Like he gets
That's what he's
injured.
dealing with, like getting older and not passing the test.
Yeah, it makes me feel like he's fallible in the way that like the other ones did not. Like that, like at every given time, like someone could outsmart him or best him and stuff. And there's kind of that scene in almost all of these, or like multiple plot lines in these Bonds, where it's like, man, if he had just done his job, like, and just not been shitty and headstrong and reckless and alcoholic and all that, like everything would have been fine. But like it's his fault that people die, or the bad guy got away and stuff
The
like
demons.
that. So yeah, and I like that. I like that in my superheroes or whatever else, that they're more human.
So that's good. Like Craig had a pretty good arc, and they're gonna reset that now. with somebody new. Like, I wonder what they'll do in that. Like, is it going to be alcoholism? Like, I don't know. Bond doesn't have a lot of
Maybe he'll
vices that he can
maybe he'll
lean
just
on.
be a straight
Like,
up heroin
he'll just
addict.
be
You
just a
know,
murder. Like, just
Well,
he likes
he's
to murder people all the time. Like,
Craig
no
he'll
is
be
matter what.
James Bond in like
emotionally
Philadelphia.
unstable too. Like
Yeah.
he's just like I said. I feel like he gets attached to every woman he looks at. He's like attached, even though he's not attached, but he's attached. And I'm like, they barely shared a fucking sentence. Why is he so attached? I don't
Well,
get it.
you explained it. He's an alcoholic. He's looking for every way outside of
Yeah.
himself in any kind of imaginable way.
It is. I mean, he's an orphan. He's an alcoholic. He's got every like vice you could have and every like thing. I think you raise a good point though, Mike. Like Craig's Bond, literally Casino Royale. The first one is him. It shows that's his origin story. Like he has to become a 00 agent. You have to kill 2 people. Like that's your first like mission is. And it shows him killing the 2 people that allow him to become a 00 agent. So it's like, okay, now he is 007. And then this final movie wraps that all up. No spoilers, but like it's a full ass arc. Like there's nowhere else you can take that version of James Bond, and really you can't really do a prequel because we saw the origin. Like this is how he became James Bond. You can't really, and there's been 5 movies of his that they're all pretty well linked. Like they probably all happened within a 10-year span in universe or whatever else.
Yeah.
So it's like he hasn't really been doing other missions that you haven't like seen and stuff. Like it's not like, oh yeah, we could follow what he was doing in the interim or whatever else. Like so I don't know where they go and what would like compel a new like reboot or anything else like that. It's they kind of back themselves in a wall.
Maybe the interim will be like just him going to like AA meetings and like trying to get off the horse. It's like
I don't know. Isn't it like the Broccoli family owns Bond or something like that? They're very safe with it. It's their crown jewel. So I don't know if they're gonna try to do something very interesting.
I think the only thing you can do is make a direct sequel and just say like that was Craig.
2?
Well, sure, yeah. Sean Bean was not dead at the end after they dropped the satellite on him or whatever.
It is.
Cradle.
Yeah, I think you'd have to make like a direct sequel that is like talking about Daniel Craig as like here's what he did and here's the legacy of everything else, and now I'm the new Bond who's picking up after him, and that might be interesting as long as that whoever that is a cool character, maybe a person of color or a woman or whatever.
Or both.
Sure.
Watch the last one.
Yeah, in the last one they kind of introduce a woman of color as like a 00 agent who's kind of supposed to be taking over for him. I don't know what they're going to do with that character. They didn't have her enough on screen to really give her a nice introduction. So
wet your beak kind of. It's like, drop the bait.
Yeah, it could be. But I'd recommend. I think those are just fun action movies. Like they're just like rewatchable for me action movies that are just like cool. Put on in the background, even if you're not like into the super story. I mean it's all outlandish stuff kind of anyway. But if you like car chases and gunfights and cool like fight choreography and beautiful locations and beautiful men and women and cool villains like Skyfall. Javier Bardem in Skyfall is super cool villain. Rami Malek in No Time to Die, not great, but he's interesting. Like he's got an interesting backstory and he looks cool and stuff, but some of his decisions I wasn't a huge fan of. But
Rami gets Turkey of the Year for me, man. He just sucks. I don't like that.
Wow.
He sucked in little things. Sounds like he's not great in this. The guy won an Oscar for playing a shitty version of Freddie Mercury, I thought. So
Oof. Ow. Ooh. Stab, stab.
Let's get to the nonsense of the year awards. We're not picking them right now, but I think we need to have a discussion about how it's going to be,
Format.
you know, kind of the categories. Yeah, the format, exactly what order we want them in, how many nominees we should bring to the table, things like that. So we're definitely going to do game of the year, show or series of the year, and movie of the year. So those are locked in. Those are simple categories, but I think we should have probably at least 2 to 3 additional categories. Mike in the Discord had kind of suggested best moment and best character, right, Mike? Is that?
yeah, I think those are something we can all chip in. Like everyone can have like something that was the best moment that they experienced, you know, like in something this year, and
And all mediums or
characters and all stuff. Yeah, that would be like best character from any. It's a stew, you know. It's
Yeah.
a gumbo.
Mm,
Games,
I
you
love
know,
gumbo.
whatever. So yeah,
Similar to the bracket of nonsense, but for characters that only existed this year, kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah. Same with moment as well.
Ooh.
I like it. I mean, what do you think, Tomas? Do you think
I like it
anything?
too.
Okay.
I like the idea. Definitely gonna have to do some research for that pick. Like if it's a gumbo, there's a lot of competition from all angles. Definitely tell you it's not Neil Patrick Harris's character in 8-Bit Christmas.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, it's not Rami Malek. Gosh, Lucifer Safin, I think is his
good
his
God.
character's name.
Lucy.
It's rough. It's a rough character. But okay, so anything? Do we go with those 5, or do we want a 6? Do we want?
Do we want to have a negative category?
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Disappointment of the year, something of that nature.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I do too.
A lot of things disappointed me this year.
There we go. All right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so that might be a great 6 categories. You know, game of the year, movie of the year, series, you know, TV of the year, character, moment, and disappointment of the year. That's a solid 6-pack. I mean,
Yeah, I
right?
think so. I
Ooh,
like it.
sixer.
Sixer. Ooh,
All right.
crack one open.
The sixer
Pull
nonsense.
Because I'm thinking we'd probably split it up 2 days, two recordings. Do like 3 categories on one, three on the next. You know, just for recording purposes and how we put it out too. I mean, I don't want to put out a 4-hour episode or something, you know, so I do want to break it up so that people out there listening can, you know, not have to listen to a 4-hour episode or
I'll
whatever.
never stop running. Like I listen to the podcast while I run. I was like, oh, just run until the podcast is over. You know, 4 hours later, I'll be dead.
It just forces you to run a marathon. It's just like, well, I guess I'm
like, I'm just gonna die.
It's how we train, Tomas. It's how we train.
We're doing top 5s for.
Well, yeah, let's have that conversation. So I think we should. How many do we want to nominate each? Because I feel like the format should be. So let's say we're going into the game of the year category, right? And we just let Mike go first. He has a list of X amount of nominees that he wants to say these were my personal, you know, games of the year. And then Tomas goes and Kayla goes and, you know, I go, whatever. Then we have a long list, you know, based on that, right?
Yeah.
And then we cull it down from there. I was thinking maybe like we each bring 5 to the table and we try to get it down to a top 3, or do we each bring
say 3 maybe
10 to the table? Because I feel like in some of these categories and stuff, it might be hard to bring.
We're gonna dupe.
Some of these categories are going to be hard for me to bring more than 2.
For
Oh,
me,
wow.
TV, I can bring 10 to TV. Like, I
Right.
don't.
Or so
But
we
yeah,
should,
Sure.
certain stuff I can't. Like, yeah, it would be tough
yeah,
for me to
some categories would be tough.
for games this year for me. So
I didn't
Right.
watch a lot of movies, so
watch plenty of those, but not a ton that I'm like super passionate about this year.
yeah.
What about 3?
We each bring 3 nominees, is what you're saying, Kayla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
Okay.
trade 3
Just
game
cancel a
nominees for
category.
3 TV?
I like the idea of each bringing 5, if we could, to each
Yeah. I'd
category,
say 5 is the cap.
and
If you
then
come under, still cool.
yeah, if you
Yeah, I
can't
don't
bring
think
5, then
Yeah.
it is what it
there's not a
is.
minimum.
Okay.
Right.
To bring.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think we should do it bracket of nonsense style, where if we duplicate, like if 2 of us, like it's locked in somewhere on
Yeah,
the
baby.
like the list. If we do a top, so I guess we have to decide: are we doing a top 3? Are we doing a top 5? Like for the final like ranking, the machine of nonsense ranking. Do we want to
I think we could get a
have?
5 for
We can get a
each.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
We're
we'll do
bringing
5.
5
Just keep it at
already.
5. Everything
Everybody's gonna
5.
bring 5. We're gonna agree to a top 5 in order. We're gonna
We'll
rank
rank
them,
it, I think,
I think
right?
we
Don't rank it.
should. I would like
No.
to. Yeah, I'd like to have that.
and
Or
then
not.
that'll
like
give us
ranking.
our
I mean,
winner.
Or if we just want to do we want to just have a list and that's it? Like these are the 5 games of the year instead of here's
Wanna
the
rank?
4th. Do you want to know the 4th best game of the year?
Oh.
Like, I don't know if that's necessary or if we want to.
I like the
Right.
conversation around ranking. I mean, if we can't come to any sort of consensus, that's fine, and we just say like, yeah, let's not. But if we do like come to some kind of consensus where in TV, at least it's like, oh, X show is definitely number 1 or number 2. We should celebrate it in that sense. Like,
Can we do a category of like Eric's top 5, like fake video game or real video game?
Thank you. I thought you were going with like Eric's top 5 civilizations in Age of Empires 4.
Well, that too.
All right, so it's the
Yeah.
Franks. It's the Holy Roman Empire.
I used to pick China because they had instant civilian spawn. Didn't have to. There was no cooldown. I just make people get resources. So.
Wow.
Okay, so we got the 6 categories locked in. So we're gonna do Game of the Year, Movie of the Year, TV of the Year, Moment, Character, and Disappointment of the Year. I like that. We're going to do. We're gonna lock in 5 for our like finalists. Hopefully being able to rank them, but maybe not. We'll see if we can
We'll
come
let
to
that
any sort of
happen naturally.
consensus. And we're all gonna bring about 5 to the table in each category to discuss, right? That's how we feel.
Just try to just bring the stuff that you want to talk about the most. That's all. Like the stuff that you think deserves,
Yeah.
to just at least be mentioned, if not in the top 5. Like there's going to be stuff I just want to. I might not fight the most for, but I think deserves a little time at least. And do we want to mention stuff that we think should be like that we're going to bring to the table that other people might want to check out if they haven't yet? Or
I think we should. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so that's like a 2-parter. Anything coming in December, still coming up, like in December, that we might think we should really focus on, and also anything that has already come that we really want to kind of lock in and make sure the most eyes are on it, so that we can have a full discussion, on it. Like Mike, it seems like you really like that Beatles documentary. Now, would you say you would want? Because I'm kind of willing to check it out.
Tried
And
to
Didn't watch
convince
Alone
me
in the
last
Dark.
night.
like, yeah, I'm not a fan, but like I might still get something out of it. I've been trying to listen to I listened about
Yeah.
5 hours of the Beatles recently.
Oh,
So
jeez.
See,
like
that's like all their music, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think
it
it's
was the
5 hours.
Apple's Essentials is what it was.
So
So
everything.
Nice. Nice.
uh,
Yeah, it's tough to say what's essential with them, but
I like several of their songs. So
like, is Get Back a TV show?
that's a good question. I think so, right? It's a
Yeah.
limited series, I think is what I would call it.
Docu-series.
Yeah.
It's one of the 3 best TV shows I saw this year. In a fucking slate of awesome TV this year for
Great
me.
TV.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be talking a lot of about TV shows. I'm very like
Yeah.
what if whoever's coming, I hope we get many of us for the Game of the Year talk. Watch Midnight Mass because
Ooh.
it's fucking great.
I'd have to watch that one alone.
I think you'll like it a lot, man. That's something I'm going to champion for sure.
Got my list.
Games
It's
is going
not
to be tough.
terribly scary. I mean, like it's a horror show, but I don't think it's like because your girlfriend's not like super into horror, right, Tomas? Like,
Nah, not at all.
she might be able
Very
to
mild
handle it.
horror.
Yeah.
Did watch
Way more a
Castlevania.
cerebral
Creepy to look
show,
at.
and it's just great writing and great mood and atmosphere.
Is that a Netflix joint?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
I would nominate Arcane as well. I know Mike, you're already gonna check that out.
I'm in the box for that one.
I
definitely want to see it.
I want everyone to check that out and have a conversation around Arcane because I really I feel very much like you feel with like Midnight Mass and Get Back and stuff like that. Like it was in a stacked category. It did some things for me.
Yeah.
You
TV is gonna be.
guys
a
are on
bloodbath.
all of like this new shit. I mean, they're like the rest of this year was fucking stacked for TV.
It was, yeah, and I
mean, I think we've all seen Mare here.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like Mare's gonna be on there for me.
How's
Reservation
Hawkeye coming along,
Dogs.
guys?
Yeah,
I've
Res
got
Dog.
some games to recommend.
Yeah, what's up, Kayla?
Games are a little tough, because they
Games.
take more time. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely try to play the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, at
Okay.
least a little bit,
Mm.
and also It Takes Two. Those are definitely things that I'll be talking about.
I really want to play It Takes. I'm gonna have to get Selena to play it somehow, I guess, or play with Josh or something. I don't know, somehow. Games are tough. Like, yeah, I can't make people like, hey, get a PS5 and play Ratchet and Clank.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Games are tough.
That's
This
tough.
morning when I was thinking about it, I was like, damn, I don't know. Like those are the best things I can say because, like you said, we've all watched all these shows already. There's not really too many shows that we haven't seen as a group.
Yeah, luckily, I mean, in the category that is so stacked TV, I think we have luckily like
indulged.
all been able to like get most of them down, and I think we still have. We're gonna do this in about a month, so we still have about a month to really dig in and catch anything. I think in a month, I think I can watch 6 hours of the Beatles. I think.
Yeah, I think I can do that. I already got
We've got
Yeah,
lots of stuff on our still watch list.
there's
True,
so much.
true. We're gonna do a
And
Matrix watch-a-thon as well. So
Ooh.
Yeah, because we
I've
want to watch the new one.
been humoring that too.
it's on HBO Max.
I
The
know
3,
they got the
yeah.
trilogy, so I'm like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff coming out still this year too. I got a couple things written down. I want to check
Mhm.
out Power of the Dog film on
Yeah.
Netflix.
I almost
want to.
watched that last night.
That's
Temple of
already
the
out,
Dog.
right? Did you like it?
I almost watched it. I didn't
Oh.
pull the trigger yet. I want to watch it though.
There's next Friday coming out on Netflix. Don't Look Up. Want to
Yeah.
watch that? Then that following Friday is No Way Home. And then The Matrix will come out, and then Licorice Pizza will come out. Heard great
That's-
stuff about that so
That's
far.
something I want to see. I need to see French Dispatch as well. I still haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
French
Yeah, it's on
Dispatch
our
is on
list
my
too to check
list
out.
to watch. And
That
then
could definitely make
Book
my.
of Boba Fett
Yeah.
comes out like on the 29th, but show.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's not going to be eligible probably because that'll release,
It'll still be.
serially. So yeah, I don't think we'll have enough episodes in the book for Boba Fett. But
Yeah, but we're working on finishing Hawkeye, working on finishing Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I forgot to
Deathloop.
bring up Hawkeye in the what I've been checking out. I'm after the first initial two, I was cold on it. But the third one, I was like, all right, okay, I'm gonna see the next three out for sure, and hopefully it keeps moving up.
that one shot in the car, where it's just panning the camera around the car, that was some cool camera work. I don't know if you noticed, like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not a
it's nice.
super long like scene, but yeah, it's pretty cool how they did that.
A little frantic.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's talk order, like how we want to. I think probably we should start with disappointment. I feel like that one is just a fun category. We should like start with that one. Now we've kind of all said that TV is the most stacked category, and I think I fully agree with that one. Do we want that to be the final category because it's going to be what we're going to have the most conversation about? It's kind of the best of this year, so it should be saved for last, or
No,
how do
that's
we
a
want
great
to like
question.
do that?
I like
Yeah,
that.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I mean, for sure, that's the one. That's the big belt this year for me.
Okay.
That's the Smoking Skull belt for sure.
And I think every year we can kind of base it on what we're most passionate about. Like as we do this next year, let's say, if next year's a really good video game year, better than TV or movies or whatever, video games get the final spot, whatever. Or if it's a great movie year, that thing or something like that. So yeah, I think
Yeah, I don't have a
TV.
problem with being fluid. Like,
First off, we have the disappointment of the year. I'd say we can do like best game or movie next. Those can be interchangeable, 2 and 3.
yeah, I want to bring up Green Knight for best movie is something I'm gonna.
Mm,
Oh shit! Yeah,
definitely on my list to check out. It's got to be cheap now to like rent, I bet.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
$6.
Yeah.
Awesome. Definitely check that out.
Last
So okay,
Duel, is that going to be brought up? Do we think?
it's probably on my so it's gonna be brought up. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna bring up Last Duel, at least in one of these categories. So
Okay, then I definitely want to. I want to see it then.
yeah.
Nice.
And I would just recommend checking that movie out anyway. I think it's just it's a good ass movie. But okay, so TV's last category, disappointments is first category. Moments is going to be the most spoilery. I think for the discussions on a lot of this stuff, we can keep it like relatively spoiler free, and then when we have the moments discussion, or Mike, what do you think? Or we just go
Think
full spoilers from
This is going to
the
be
get?
Full
spoilery. Like, if
spoilers.
you
Yeah.
don't
Fuck it.
want
It's
to
the
know about stuff,
end of the year. It's
you're going to have to figure that out. Like, I don't.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
We're having discussions about it. We got to be able to.
And I
Okay,
think
no,
Get
that's
so.
cool.
I
over
don't
it,
think we can
man.
tiptoe around why we like something. So, like, we have to. We got to go all in.
Dig
Balls
it,
to the walls.
dig it. I'll just do a spoiler warning beforehand, and that'll be that.
Yes. I
Seems
think
to have
that's-
worked in the past.
But I think that character and moment should go later. Like I would do number 1 we've already decided as the disappointment. 2 I would probably do game. Movie number 3.
All about them disappointments, yo. Life is
Character
disappointing.
4, moment, and then TV show.
Yeah, like how do you not spoil best character like moments? Like I
For
don't
real, yeah. It's
Well,
like,
that's what I was gonna say. Was like moments.
one.
Moments is gonna be full spoiler. So that would have
Right.
been like hard cut. Spoiler warning. We're discussing the best moments of the year. We're going balls to the wall here. Whereas the rest, best movie you could maybe dance around, but we don't have to. Like I said, like I'm fine with just going full spoilers from the get go.
Spoiler: Rocky wins in this one.
What do you guys think of? Because in my mind, at least initially, I thought like, okay, the major categories, the TV, movies, and games would all be in some way together, like 1, 2, and 3, but moments, having moments as like number 2, like, or the second to last, I guess I should say, category that we discussed sounds interesting to have that. Do you guys think you're going to have a lot of like moments that you can nominate and that kind of thing? Is that going to be a big discussion?
I think it can very well be, yeah. That and
Bring in
characters.
5, I guess. Shit.
Yeah.
Bring it maximum 5, but like, yeah, I think I could.
Okay.
I could definitely bring 5 for every category.
Okay, so do we want moments to be second to last? Like, do we go?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right before the TV discussion.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I hope. I'm worried that maybe we're cutting the legs out of certain categories. Like, I don't know, like with the placement of moment. Maybe I don't know.
Like, you
Am
think
I
it should go
overthinking it?
last?
Well, I almost feel like if we do, so I'm almost certainly breaking it up into 2 episodes, and
Sure.
releasing it in 2 episodes. So there is some kind of synergy with doing like disappointment, character, and moments 1 episode,
Yeah,
and
I like
then
that.
movie, show, TV, whatever, like the other 3, the awards kind of things. There
I
is
kinda
some
like that.
synergy there. What do you think, Kayla, of like breaking it up that way?
Yeah.
Okay. Tomas, you kind of on the same page?
Yeah.
So then,
Yeah.
disappointment, then characters, then moments. Like, moments will kind of be the last conversation of the first episode, let's call it.
Yeah, I think that'll be like just a fun list to make. Like, I don't know, the stuff that made us go like, "Oh shit," or "Oh fuck," like, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, totally.
That's a good capper on that episode, right? Okay, so disappointments, then characters, then moments. So then really it's just like the how we're gonna start the second episode. Do we feel like it was a better movie year or a better game year? So it's basically like, do we start talking games and then move on to movies, then move on to TV, or do we start movies, games, then TV?
I think we saved TV for last.
Yeah, I think we saved TV
I
for
think
last.
TV,
Yeah.
TV's
For
pretty
me,
stacked.
it's weak game year for sure.
So I would do that first then.
Okay, that's what I was leaning towards. I just kind of
Yeah.
wanted to throw it to the room. Okay.
Nobody mentioned Age of Empires 4, so Eric doesn't take up 2 hours on the podcast.
Yeah,
I think
but like a game that's coming out soon, The Gunk, it's going to be on Game Pass. I'm definitely going to be checking that out. Something that could potentially that I'd fight for, that I might really like, because it's a studio that I like a lot. So I'm hyped for that.
All right. So I think we have our nonsense of the year format and how we're gonna do it. We'll each bring 5 in every category if we can. If we feel like we can bring 5 in every category, the categories will be best TV, best movie, best video game, biggest disappointment, best character, and best moment. So 6 categories. We'll each bring 5, and we'll try to get a top 5 combined list for the Machine of Nonsense. I think I'm going to ask, even if like Aaron, Josh, and Ryan can't make the episode, I'm going to ask them to submit some that we can at least like talk about, and just so that we can have a larger long list and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially if we got some duplicates, like I think there's going to be some things that we all enjoyed, obviously, this
We get a
year.
list from Ryan. We're definitely going to have the Bebop talk. So
Yeah, and I
I'm
mean,
enjoying it.
I think me and Kayla are both enjoying it. We're on episode 4, I think. So I
How many
definitely want to
episodes is
finish it before the end of the year, and it could sneak in at least a mention or something. You know,
Okay.
maybe. Stat category. It's up
Oh,
against a
yeah.
lot of beasts, but maybe there's a moment in there. Who
Hey.
knows? All right, so that's the nonsense of the year. We'll do that in about a month in early January, so we can wrap up the entire year. But our next episode is going to be the console draft. So let's figure out. I think we need to bring 4 because we said we're going to bring a poll to the Monstars group, and I think 4 is a solid poll to have. We should have 4 consoles to decide between, and let the Monstars decide, which console we're going to draft from. So, what do you guys think as far as like should be a lock on like a console that we should be drafting from?
Gonna have to throw out the 3DO.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Intellivision.
hmm Yeah. All right. So yeah, we're gonna do the 3D.
Baseball, number 1
Philips
overall.
CDI.
Oh God.
Think of fun ones. Nintendo 64.
The
That
Ultra
is
Politics.
64.
Now, are
All
we
right.
trying to get like a console per, big?
Yeah, one of the bigs.
I think that would be
Nintendo.
ideal, but I mean, if it's just not, if we have 2 Nintendo consoles and we have 2 Nintendo consoles, it's
Oh.
just, hey, maybe they're just good at making consoles,
My
like
Nintendo
whatever.
system would definitely be the Super Nintendo if we're gonna have to go for that one. It's
Yeah,
Yes.
some systems are just tough with the cat. We'd have to rework categories maybe a little bit. I don't
We're
know.
probably going to have to anyway. I think once we have our consoles down, I think I'm gonna put some thought to reworking the categories. But just in the case of like N64, it's modern enough where you do get that like basically from PS1 era
Yeah.
on, they're kind of modern enough where you do have enough genres and stuff like that. Not saying that we can't draft NES or Super NES or Genesis or any, I like a lot of games from all those consoles, but
NES is a wild, wild west of fucking video game genres.
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm trying to figure
I
that
think
shit out.
in the retro consoles, if we end up doing a retro console just to make it easy, we maybe just do a straight up draft. Just a straight up snake draft,
Pick the
no
64.
categories, the
That would be
6,
fun. Yeah.
your
Yeah.
top 6. Whereas
That's helpful for me.
if it's a more and if it's a
With
more
this
modern
tomato?
console, we stick
Go.
That's a good idea.
yeah.
For me, a lock like that could just cover all the bases is PS2.
PS2. Yep.
Um,
PS2 is an easy. It's got
Just-
everything.
yeah, there's such a vast library.
Right, I agree.
Everyone can make a great list off of PS2, and I think 360 as well.
We all grew up in that era too. Like we were like at the point where like starting to get jobs. I don't have to worry about like holidays to get a game I want. I can actually buy what I want.
Yeah. It's called the Bouncer era, I believe.
The Bouncer. That was the first video game I got for the PS2.
I know. I know. A little bit of Tomas trivia there.
It's my opportunity to have the
The
Bouncer
best
talk.
19 and a half minutes Tomas ever had with the
Fed your
PS2
ass.
finishing the bouncer.
Um,
First playthrough.
You never forget a character name like Duragon C. Mikado, right?
gosh.
Scion Barthod or whatever the hell. Yes, I've never played the bouncer, but I know all about the bouncer.
Wouldn't have gotten your precious
Solo.
Kingdom Hearts if it wasn't for those guys.
Oh God. All right, let's go back in time and murder the bouncer.
I will not be drafting Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, I remember high school Mike wouldn't stop talking about Kingdom Hearts 2.
Loved Kingdom Hearts in high school. Won't disagree with that at all. But the times they were changing.
You've evolved in some ways. You still like bad cafeteria pizza, but
Hey,
Oh, love it. Love it.
a little Texas Pete to jazz that bad boy up. We're good all day.
Okay. So we got N64, PS2, and Xbox 360. That is a nice slice of different, manufacturers.
Yeah. It's pretty
What
solid.
Steam? Yeah, we just
Steam
do
is
Steam.
Everything.
Yeah.
Just open
God.
up floodgates.
God,
Ugh.
good old games.
So let me tell you why I picked Binding of Isaac for 4 different of my categories.
What else? Do we want to do a super modern? We've
Yeah, I
also
think so.
we got like 3 different generations here too, so we could do
Do the PS3. Steal the Vita.
we could do like PS4, which was my MVP of the last generation, I'd say.
PS4's got a lot of staying
PS4 or
power.
Switch would be the
Switch,
the other
yeah.
I love me the Switch.
Yeah.
Still
What
playing
do
my
we
Switch.
what do we think? Do you just like flip a coin, or do you guys have a thought between PS4 and Switch?
Monstar's Choice.
Well, we're already
last
giving them choice. We're already polling.
Oh,
so.
they're picking
Yeah, we're
between.
trying to come up with
Yeah.
4 for them to.
Yeah.
For
We'll
them
make them
to
pick the last
from.
one, and then we'll make them
vote in,
pick
like
it
a write-in
again.
vote?
Yeah,
I mean,
write-in.
I guess we could have 5. Like, I just thought like 4 works really
Yeah.
well in a poll, but it could be a 5 poll. Like it can be 5. It can be switch.
It can't be a 5. Whoa. Wait a minute. It can't be. Let's not get silly here.
Well, Switch or PS4, Mike. Put the hammer down.
We had a lot of PS4 characters in our bracket. So I would lean PS4 on that, I think.
PS4 is nice.
Kayla, what do you think?
I like PS4.
Okay. Okay.
Easier
Double.
for me. I've definitely played more PS4 games than I have Switch games.
Right. Okay.
I'm texting Tony right now, see if I can get an instant response.
I like it.
Yeah, we need to hear from the ambassador himself.
Oh man,
The ambassador of nonsense.
Yeah,
Mr. Spotify top list. Oh man, love it.
That's some big dick energy right there.
Yeah. Big shout out to Katie and Tony. Both had
Yeah.
Machine of Nonsense on their top Spotify playlists. I mean,
Yes, thank
thank you guys.
I listen to us on iTunes podcast.
So do I. Yeah, I use Apple Podcasts. So
I can guarantee you my Spotify will be the rewatchables.
I'm surprised that Apple does not have the thing. Like everyone loves that Spotify feature, the like top genres that you listen to and all those things. Like it's a great feature, the end of the year wrap up thing. Like, come on, Apple, steal that shit. Like you're silly not to.
Show me.
Like it's silly. Like that's a great thing that Spotify has. Like it's a great idea. Steal it.
I don't know if we locked in the PS4, but Tony says the Switch.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Probably what he goes with because it's all he plays so anymore.
Well, I kneel. I
Okay.
Kneel before King nothing.
Let's do it. Okay, so the 4 that we will put the poll up on are the N64, the PS2, the Xbox 360, and the Switch. I think the Switch is nice because a lot of third-party stuff does come to the Switch. It's not the best version necessarily, but it's got a bigger catalog than I think it gets credit for.
We just got Diablo 2, bro. You want to talk about disappointments of the year? Foreshadowing. Diablo 2 remake. What else?
Oh boy.
Do I have to put more time into that just to get riled up for this argument? Because I don't really want to do that.
I think the fact that you jumped in and bounced off like within seconds, it seems like, I think that's telling. Like,
get Josh on that episode. I'm going to tell him why he's wrong.
I put in at least 30 to 45 minutes in, but
I put in about 40. I cleared a dungeon.
That's rough.
But yeah, I like those 4 choices. And we still have PS4 in our back pocket, like
for
the future. It's not going anywhere.
And I think
So-
we're going to be able to do. I'll take a quick look. N64. If that gets picked, maybe we have to jigger the categories a little bit.
Like two RPGs on that system.
Right.
You
Right.
got
So
got Hybrid Heaven. You got Quest 64. So,
right. But you
Yeah.
know,
Those are going to be some lists.
Got some party games
no
in
who's
there.
getting win back,
No
man?
one's going to have like a golden ticket on that one.
Win backs on two of these lists, man.
Yeah. I played the
All
PS2
right.
version of Winback.
Actually,
gosh.
win backs on the Switch now too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's. I think that's
I picked
eligible.
Nintendo Switch Online for the number one. I get Super Metroid.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. So the console draft will be one of these four. We're gonna leave it up to you guys, the Monstars, in a poll between the N64, the PS2, the Xbox 360, or the Switch. So it'll be like a lot of our drafts, except they have to be contained within one of those consoles. So if the PS2 is picked, we still have 6 categories to fill, but they have to be games that existed on the PS2. So that'll be our next episode, the console draft, but we need a little help from you guys out there. Let us know which of these 4 consoles we should be drafting from, and then we'll get to drafting.
Nice.
Any other things we gotta wrap up in this housekeeping episode? Anything before we get to getting?
A big thank you to all, if any, that make it through this one. It's a little it's a little behind the scenes a little bit.
Inside baseball, man. That's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
You're one of the real ones.
Yeah.
If you dug this one, thank you.
Yeah, you get insider access to what's coming up, folks.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Sneak peek.
All
You
right,
eat your
guys.
shit up, man.
Hey, I love it, and I love them. All right, guys. That was episode 56 of the Machine of Nonsense. We did some housekeeping, a lot of Cheerios. Talked about the console draft, talked about the Nonsense of the Year awards. We have it all set up. Next episode will be the console draft. Be looking for the poll on Monstars, our Facebook fan group. Vote in the poll. See if the N64, the PS2, the Xbox 360, or the Switch will be what we are drafting from. As always, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Drop us a line. If you want to be heard on this podcast, go to anchor.fm/machine of nonsense, and you can leave us a voicemail. We'll put it on this episode. You can hear your voice on the internet. Episode 56 in the books. I was your host, Eric, joined by Kayla, Mike, and Tomas. It's getting to be the end of the year. We're getting out of here and saying goodbye.
See ya.